Hello, my name is Lateefah. I'm here with 50Grand Fit. Today we are doing yoga. Now, what kind of yoga are we doing? This is a nice gentle flow. It's more of a stretch and bringing a little strength into the body, bringing a little peace into the mind, and just bringing some into your world. If you want, you can have a towel. That's what you're going to use to place under your knees at various times throughout this practice. You will be on one knee or both. If you have yoga blocks, grab those yoga blocks. If not, you can always find something that, two things that are the same exact height. You'll see how to use them while we're in the middle of it. So please run and get those things. And if you need to, grab some water too. You always need water. Let's get started. So get a nice, comfortable seated position. We can start with the blocks early because if you have tight hips or any issues with the knees, you want to sit with your hips raised above your knees. So please have a seat. You can sit on that block, or maybe you want to sit on your towel. Whatever you do, find a comfortable seat. Once you get into that comfortable seat, kind of wiggle around, get out all the kinks. There's always something in the body that needs to be released so you can get into that comfortable space. Relax your hands to your knees. Before we do anything, I want you to notice where your hands wound up. In yoga, we say if the hands are facing down, you're in need of grounding. If your hands are facing up, you are completely ready to receive. So just take a moment, notice where those hands wound up, absorb that for a second, and close your eyes. This is where people sometimes get a little uncomfortable, but I don't want you to. Just close your eyes. When you close your eyes, stay focused on the breath. Taking a few breaths here will bring your mind to the mat. I say that because I'm thankful that you've already brought your bodies here. Now, let's get our minds into where we are going. So with those eyes closed, focus on that inhale, and then pay attention to that exhale. And again, every inhale, think of the lungs expanding. Every exhale, think of the release of stress from the shoulders, maybe even the neck. As you continue to breathe, take into account how the body feels. Do a scan of yourselves from the top of your heads to the bottoms of your feet. Are you paying attention to the parts that may be a little tight? Those are the parts that you're really going to breathe deeper into as we move through our practice today. So let's take a couple of these breaths together as we start to move into this practice. Keeping the eyes closed, inhale as deep as you can through the nose. Through the nose, exhale. Again, inhale, nice and deep. We're building those lungs up. And then through the nose again, exhale. We have two more breaths. This time we're going to go deeper. So inhale for 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold the breath for a moment. Now open the mouth with the HA sound. Say, exhale. One more time. Inhale, nice and deep. Taking all the breath you possibly can. And just when you think you can't take anymore, take a little bit more in. Hold the breath at the top. And then sigh it all out. With that sigh, you're now ready to get some movement going. Bring those arms up to the sky. Inhale the arms all the way up to the sky. Bring the hands together. Exhale, hands to your heart. This is where we start to merge the breath with movement. Inhale, bringing the arms all the way up to the sky. Hands together. Exhale, hands to your heart. Let's do 2 more. Use that breath to stretch up. Use that breath to bring everything in towards your center. One more time. Inhale, take the arms all the way up. Stretch it up. Exhale, hands together, bring them to your heart. Now, before we move on, if your legs are crossed, just switch your leading leg. Stay on that block if you're on there. So we've already got our hands to our hearts. Interlace all 10 fingers and flip your palms away from you. Start to press the palms away. As you do that, begin to round your back. I'm gonna do it from the side just so you can see. So you're rounding the back here. Round, bring your chin to your chest and hold here. So you got that nice rounding in the back. Your chin is released to the chest so you can get rid of some of the tension and the tightness in the neck. Now on your inhale, start to sit up, press your palms to the sky. So sitting up really tall, you're still grounded onto that block. You're pressing the palms up to the sky. Should feel kind of good here. If not, it's because you've got tight shoulders and it's okay. Bend the elbows a little bit. From here again, press the palms away from you, round your back, chin to chest, pressing away, hold. On that next inhale, bring the arms all the way up to the sky. This time when you bring them up, try to lift your rib cage, look up to the ceiling, and bring the arms back a little bit. Don't overstretch. We just got here. Start pressing up, start pressing back, lifting up. For some of you, this might be the first time you've really opened up. So really stretch it up, up, up. I'm not gonna lie, this is one of my favorite stretches. And then slowly come up to center. Relax your arms down. Just kind of let them float down. From here, take your left hand. Bring your left hand to your right knee. Right hand goes on the mat behind you. Sit up really tall. And then twist. Look over your right shoulder. One thing I want you to be aware of, every time we're doing any kind of twist, think of lengthening the spine. So keep yourselves really tall. Think of your spine as a spiral staircase. You have to keep going up and up and up in order for yourselves to twist. So hold here. Sitting up tall. And then come back to the center. Right hand to your left knee. Left hand on the mat behind you. Sit up really tall. Twist. Look over your left shoulder. Remember, we've got height. We've got that rotation of the spine. So that's why I want you to look, because your spine ends all the way or starts all the way up here. So we want to make sure you have a nice twisted spine here, but not overdoing it. We never want to overdo it. Now let's bring the breath in with the movement. So inhale, come to your center, bring the arms up. Exhale, twist to your right. Inhale, come back to the center. Exhale, twist to your left. Inhale, center. Exhale, twist to your right. Inhaling, center again. Remember, keep that height in the spine. Exhale, twist to your left. Now bring your arms all the way up. Take a big breath here. Bend the elbows. That lift that we did before, I want you to lift your rib cage, bend the elbows, lift your heart. And then take the arms all the way up, this time stretching up. Use that breath, stretch up. Exhale, bend the elbows, lift your heart. Inhale, stretching up. Exhale, bend the elbows. Inhale, stretch the arms up, and then bring your hands, just let them float down to your knees. I want you to take your head right to left. Maybe close your eyes, because sometimes it feels good just after you've done all that stretching, just to get out the little wiggles, as I like to call them. So you just kind of move side to side, and maybe circle the head, chin to chest. You can roll right to left. And then come back to center. What I want you to do is close the eyes again, please. Think about how the body feels. So once again, you're scanning the body. Do you feel a little more open? Does it feel a little weird? Because a lot of us sit at our desks like this, or we drive like this, or we're texting, and we don't understand opening up helps so much with the breathing, and it helps your back. I'm all about the back, as you see already. We're working all through the spine. After you've done that whole, what does my body feel like and what in the world are we about to do? Let's get to it. All right, so if you're sitting on your block, you can take the block away from your bum. And from here, this is where if you need to, you can have your towel simply because we're gonna be on our knees for just a second. I always like to have it here just because, well, my knees love it. So from here, we're moving into cat-cow. Curl the toes under first. Press your palms into the mat. Your arms never bend here, but they don't lock either. So we're not here. We are pressing into the mat nice and strong. You should feel it from here. So really press in, pull the belly into the spine, tuck the toes under like mine are. Start to arch your back and look up. This is your cow pose. So when you're arching your back, don't sit back. Keep your hips above your knees and start to bring your rib cage forward and look up. Cow pose. Now flatten your feet. Start to pull the belly in toward the spine, tuck under, round the back, look at your belly, hold here. This is your cat pose. While you're here, you want to press your hands into the mat. Really feel the stretching of the spine. All those muscles in the back are nice and open. Now that we've got these two, let's breathe. Curl the toes under. Inhale, arch the back to look up. Flatten your feet. Exhale, tuck under, round your back. You see how slow we're moving? Move with the breath. Inhale. Exhale. Again, inhale. So we're doing this a few more times. You decide if you want to breathe in through the nose and out through the mouth, or continuously in and out of the nose. But whatever you do, make sure the rhythm of your breath is what is helping the movement. Don't rush. Your body doesn't want that. Please come to a neutral spine from here. Keep your towel where it is because we're coming back down. Curl the toes under, press your hands into the mat. Actually, walk your hands forward about an inch. Press the hands into the mat. Lift your knees off the mat, lift your hips up. And if you're like me, sometimes your knees talk to you when you come off that position, it's okay. Start pressing the hands more into the mat, heels towards the mat. This is downward facing dog. Downward facing dog is good to stretch out your calves, your hamstrings, release the lower back, and it's an inversion, so just relax your head down. Inversions, we say, are good for anxiety, clarity. Slowly lift your heels and then press them back towards the mat. I use that word because they do not have to touch. The heels don't have to touch. Inhale, lift those heels up to the sky. Exhale, press those heels down. If at any time this becomes too much, please bring your knees back down to the mat. Inhale, lift your heels. Exhale, press the heels down one more time. Inhale, lift those heels. Exhale, press the heels down. This time when you lift the heels, it's just so you can get back down to the mat to hands and knees a little better. Keep those toes curled under. Inhale, arch the back to look up. Flatten those feet. Exhale, round the back. Getting a little more movement here. Inhale, arch the back to look up. Downward facing dog. Exhale. Inhale, lift those heels. Exhale, press the heels back down. Inhale, heels lift. Exhale, heels press down. Inhale, lift the heels just to bring the knees back down to the mat. We have one more round of that. Toes are curled under. Inhale, arch the back to look up. Flatten those feet. Exhale, round the back. Look at your belly. Arch the back to look up. Inhale. Downward facing dog. Lift it up. Exhale. Ah, my knees are saying hello. Inhale, lift those heels. Lift them high. Exhale, press the heels back down to the mat. Inhale, lift those heels up. Exhale, press the heels down. Inhale, lift them up to bring the heels back, the knees, back down to your towel and pause. If you need to, you can stay right here or bring the toes together. Knees can separate. sit back. This is child's pose. Give you a little something about child's pose. In child's pose, if you have any issues with your knees, it's always best to keep the knees apart and the toes together. It reduces some of the tension on the knees. If you have severe knee problems, you want, this is my towel, but you would get a pillow. Place your pillow right here under the knees, and it reduces all the pressure on the knees altogether. Definitely not a towel, you definitely want to get that pillow, but I'm just showing you where you would bring that pillow for child's pose. Child's pose is supposed to be a pose of rest and recovery. So at any time when you're doing yoga, yes, you can always stop, but a really good way to stop and regroup and recover and get yourself back into the game is child's pose. And that's whatever form of yoga you're doing. Alrighty, so we're back to the knees. From the knees, I want everyone to press your left hand into the mat. So really press that left hand in and then stretch your right arm out. So try not to let the hips shift or anything. We're just pressing in. Your shoulders are not like this. Ears and shoulders away from each other. So really press out, stretch that right arm forward. While you're here stretching that arm forward, act like you're shaking someone's hand. Stretch your left leg back. Flex that left foot and keep that heel to the sky. So we're holding here. This is spinal balance. This is good for your core. Core is shoulder to shoulder, hips to hips, and everything in between, front and back. So this is really good for that. So stay focused here. Don't look up. Don't let your head drop. Keep your gaze towards the front edge of your mat. So really pressing here. Hold here for 2 breaths. So I like to say breaths, not for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, because we want to stay focused on the breath. So with that, you have 1 more here, and then slowly bring it down. If you need to, shake it out. You're gonna feel it all over the place. If you don't, I need you to try it again with me, okay? So from here, you're pressing the hands back into the mat. Press that right hand into the mat. So now you have all of this strength going on the right side of the body. Extend your left arm forward. Remember, you're shaking someone's hand. Keep pressing in. Make sure your shoulder is away from your ear. Extend your right leg back. So really press that hand in, lengthen that right leg, glancing at the front edge of your mat, stretching the arm out and holding here. 2 breaths, inhale. Stay focused, everybody, exhale. 1 more, keep pressing out of the mat. Keep stretching, and then bring everything down. Let's do a round of cat-cow. Curling the toes under, inhale, arch the back to look up. And flatten the feet to round the back. 1 more time, curling the toes under, arch the back to look up. Remember, always let your heart shine forward. And then flatten the feet, exhale to round the back. Now keep the tops of the feet on the mat. Start to sit back onto those heels, taking a moment here. Once again, any issues with the knees, keep the knees away from each other, or get that pillow, place it between, right behind the knees. So we're not just here to sit here. You're here to give your feet a different perspective. We're stretching the front, or really the tops of the feet. Too many times we're flat here, or even in yoga, we do a lot of things where we do this to our foot and we're overstretching. So let's give our feet a different perspective. Sitting on the feet, hips are pressed into your heels. You can stay right here. For some of us, this is really tight because we're not used to this different perspective. For some, maybe you want to go a little deeper. It's just fine. You start to bring your fingertips back a little bit. Maybe a little wiggle right to left. Or if you want to go deeper, start to bring your hands back and really sit. The deepest part of all this, and do not try this if you already feel that you're at your deepest point. If you are, breathe into that space. You can lift your heels if you want a little bit more of a stretch. I do like this one. So for you, see what works for you. That's what this whole practice is about, seeing what works for you. And then slowly come back, knees come back to that towel. Hands forward, shift the hips forward, curl the toes under, downward facing dog. Now while you're in downward facing dog, I want you to think about those feet. How's it feel? Feels a little different, right? I want you to start bending one knee at a time, pressing the opposite heel towards the mat. So if you bend your right knee, left heel presses down. If you bend your left knee, right heel presses down. You're just going back and forth. We call this walking it out. So you're just in downward facing dog, walking it out. And then come to stillness. Bend the knees just a little bit. You're coming into forward fold. Start walking the feet forward. As you walk forward, keep your towel here. We're coming back to it. So just step over that towel and then come forward, walk it forward to forward fold. Forward fold. Knees are bent, belly button is on the thighs, and you're folded. Fold the body in half. So even if you are flexible, please stay right here. Forward fold always has a slight bend to those knees. Keeping the chin to the chest, I want you to roll up. If you have a tight back, bring your hands to your hips for support. Chin to chest, roll through that spine to come all the way up. Remember, this is the first time we're standing, so take that second. When you come up, come to standing. Mountain pose. So you're still gonna stay in the same direction. I just want you to see what mountain pose looks like. Mountain pose is feet are hip width apart or feet all the way together. Your palms are facing forward, not just because you flip them forward, but because you're rotating outward from the shoulder. This is mountain. Mountain is where we get our grounding. It's our foundation. And this is where if you need to get grounded, you come back to this, you close your eyes, and you feel the earth beneath your feet, or in this case, your mat. Mountain pose. So at mountain pose, we're coming to the front of the mat. You are grounded, shoulders are pressed down, rib cage slides down. You're taking a nice big breath here. It's an inhale. Exhale, breathe it out. Your eyes can be open or closed when you are a mountain. Inhale again. Breathe it out, exhale. All right, let's get some sun salutations in here, shall we? From mountain, we inhale, bring the arms all the way up to the sky, stretch them up. This is Urdhva Hastasana. Open those arms on your exhale, bend those knees just a little and dive forward. Forward fold. Your forward fold is Uttanasana. Flat back, half lift. Hands to your shins or to your thighs. This is where the legs straighten. Straighten the back, straighten those legs, and you are here. This is your half lift, Ardha Uttanasana. And then exhale, fold again. Bend those knees. Now you're folding as much as you need to press those hands into the mat. Start to walk those feet back to downward facing dog. On your inhale, come into your plank. Now this towel is down here because right now you're building up to the strength or not. If you're building up to the strength of holding your plank, you can release your knees down to the towel. But everyone, knees down, chest and chin. So pause here. Notice my hips are lifted and my chest and chin are on the mat. Now flatten those feet, slide the body forward, draw the shoulder blades together. This is Cobra, Bhujangasana. Hold here for just a moment. Bring those shoulder blades together and your shoulders down. Hold here. It's not about those hands. Now, press those hands into the mat. Come through tabletop. Once again, if you need to, knees can be on the towel. Tabletop, downward facing dog. Walk those feet forward, step over the mat, forward fold. Half lift again, so this is your flat back. Hands to your shins or thighs, flatten the back, nice, strong, long spine. And exhale to fold. Chin to chest to roll up. If you need support, please bring your hands to your hips. If not, it is fine. Chin to chest to roll all the way up. Shake it out, bring the arms up to the sky, inhale. Arms by your sides, exhale. Let's do it again so we can go a little faster. Inhale, bring the arms up. Open the arms, exhale, dive forward. Use the breath to move forward, fold. Half lift, inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, downward facing dog. Take that walk. Inhale into your plank. Exhale, knees, chest, and chin down to the mat. Flatten your body, lift your heart. Take a little breath here. Downward facing dog. Exhale. Walk it forward, forward fold. We're doing this twice more, so inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. I told you that, so if you need to, you can move that towel away. You may or may not need it. Roll it all the way up. Arms to the sky. Inhale, lift. Arms by your sides. Exhale. Let's breathe and move. Inhale, lift. Open, dive forward. Inhale, half lift, lengthen. Downward facing dog. Exhale. Inhale, plank. Exhale, knees, chest, and chin to the mat. Flatten your body. Inhale, lift your heart. Downward facing dog. Exhale. Inhale, walk forward. Forward fold. Exhale. Half lift. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale to fold. Chin to chest. Roll it up. Arms to the sky. Inhale and lift. Arms by your sides. Mountain. Exhale one more time. Let's breathe. Inhale, lift it up. Open, exhale, dive forward, forward fold. Half lift, inhale, lengthen the spine. Downward facing dog, take that breath to walk it back. Inhale into your plank. Exhale, knees, chest, and chin to the mat. Flatten your body, inhale, lift your heart. Downward facing dog, exhale. Walk it forward with the breath. Forward fold. Half lift, inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale to fold, chin to chest. Roll it all the way up. Bring those arms to the sky. This time though, bring the hands together. Bring them to your heart. Close the eyes. Let your breath catch up to your stillness. Breathing here, inhale. Breathe it out, exhale. Again, inhaling. Breathe it out, exhale. One more, just in case you have any tension in the body. Inhale as deep as possible. Sigh it all out. Stretch those arms all the way up. Inhale, lifting up. Open, exhale, dive forward, forward, fold. Half lift, inhale, lengthen the spine. Changing things up a little bit. So on your exhale, bend the knees, press your hands into the mat. Step your right foot back into a lunge. So wiggle it back a little bit if you have to. Left knee over left ankle. So you don't want to have it too far forward or too far back. You are right here. Grab that towel, do some adjustments because right knee comes down to the mat. Untuck the toes and pause here. What I'm gonna do is get these blocks just in case. So you've already got that right foot back. That left foot is forward. You're holding. This is a great stretch, especially for folks who are sitting at a desk. When you're sitting, these muscles are getting smaller and smaller. They're contracting and contracting. When you're here, you get to open them up. It's glorious. So start to press that hip forward. Remember, if it's okay to wiggle your foot forward, anything to get your knee over your ankle. I have the blocks because what I want more of anything is for the stretch to be in the front of that right thigh. And you're holding here. You can have your fingertips on the mat if it's fine. If not, blocks are here or blocks are up here. Everyone's levels are different. What we want is the same result, that stretch in the front. And if you're lucky, you might get a little stretch on the inside of that left thigh too. We're not here, we're not bringing stress to the body, we're pressing out of the mat, pressing that right hip forward and holding here. If you want to go a little deeper, you're going to wiggle your left foot out towards the edge of the mat, hands to the inside, and I'm saying if because you can stay right where you were. It sounds good, it feels good. Turn your toes out and go deeper into that stretch on the inside of that thigh. Whatever you do though, make sure it feels like you're stretching yourselves out, not going to a place you don't need to go. So whatever you do, we're holding 2 more breaths here. Inhale. Breathe it out. Exhale. 1 more breath. Inhale. Breathe it all out. Exhale. So if you've done that whole wiggling out to the side thing, wiggle it back in. Bring your hands to frame your left foot. Curl the toes under of your right foot. Lift your back knee. Hold here. Keep pressing that right hand into the mat. Bring your left arm to the sky. This is where we're bringing a little extra strength into the body. You can always bring your knee back down to the mat, or you can challenge yourselves. Keep that right knee lifted, left arm to the sky, hold, and then left hand down to the outside of that left foot. Step back to plank position. Take a moment. Why? Because your body feels different than it did when we started that little routine there. So pause, hold. If you need to, you can bring your knees down to the mat. We're holding here for 3. Breathe it out for 2. Breathe it out for 1. Knees, chest, and chin to the mat. Flatten your body, lift your heart. Take it up and back. Downward facing dog. Take that little walk forward. Forward fold. Body hangs. There's an ah moment. Now just bring the chin to chest. Roll it all the way up. Ah, when you get to the top, bring those arms to the sky. Inhale. Hands together. Exhale, bring them to your heart. Close the eyes. Scan the body. Notice how it feels. We're being very mindful in this practice, paying attention to the body and seeing what it needs. 1 more breath here, seeing how it feels when it gets what it needs. That's the stretch. That's what your body needs. All right, let's go to the other side. Bring those arms to the sky. Take a big inhale. Open the arms. Exhale. Dive forward, forward, fold. Give me a half lift. Lengthen the spine. On your exhale, knees bend. Hands press into the mat. Step that left foot to the back of the mat. Lunge. Left knee comes down. Make sure your towel's in a good space so that knee is comfortable. Untuck the left toes and you're here. Let's go through all of the same things we went through on the other side with the intention of dealing with just this side. I say that because we have one side that's always much tighter than the other. Be careful with your body. Don't push it into anything you think it's supposed to do. It's going to do just what it has to do. All right? So with that said, now we're starting to feel the stretch in the front of your left thigh. Hands can stay here. on the mat or hands to the blocks. We're shifting forward, making sure the right knee stays over the right ankle. We're not dumping our weight, we're pressing up so we can press forward. Getting that stretch in the front of your left hip. And again, bonus, stretch on the inside of that right thigh. Here's where we go deeper. For some of you, staying here is just as deep as you need to go. Please stick with it. Breathe. If you have to, if you think you want to, start to wiggle that right foot out. Turn the toes out and hold here. Whatever you do, go deeper into what you need for your body. I stress that. Keep pressing into the left hip. And it's so interesting because on this side, my right is a little tighter, so I can already feel that. So I may need to go deeper into the breath. Instead of tightening up, close your eyes, go deeper into the breath first before you just start dropping out of a pose, okay? So really pause here, take that breath. Now, if you wiggle the toes out, wiggle them back into the center. Everyone frame that right foot. Curl the toes under of your left foot. Lift your left knee. Press your left hand into the mat. Right arm to the sky. Remember, don't dump. Press out, stretch and hold. So you've got a wonderful little stretch here and a twist. And now bring that right hand down, frame the right foot, step the right foot back into your plank. It's the 3 breaths again. Inhale, breathe it out, 1. Inhale, breathe it out, 2. Inhale, breathe it out, 3. Knees, chest and chin to the mat. Flatten your body, lift your heart, draw the shoulder blades together. Up and back, downward facing dog. Walk those feet forward, forward fold. Chin to chest, roll it up. Arms to the sky, take a big breath here, inhale. Hands together, exhale, hands to your heart. We have 2 breaths here, eyes are closed. Minds are open. Body is scanned. Breath catches up to the stillness of the body. Inhale the arms up, open those arms, take it up. Dive forward, exhale, forward fold. Now this is where it's strictly what you need. You're making your way down to the floor, so have a seat, whatever that looks like. I want you to get there safely. If you have your towel, you can bring it off to the side. You don't need the blocks. Lie on your back. So I'm gonna come this way. Lie on your back. First things first, just start to feel the lower back pressing into the mat, but your arms are relaxed, almost like Jell-O. Just let them just be. Take a moment here, keeping the feet on the mat. Relax the shoulders, feel your shoulder blades melt into the mat. Just going deeper still into the breath. Let's get a stretch in here. So take your right ankle across your left thigh. You can stay right here, just feel the opening in that right hip, or reach through, hold on to the back of your left thigh and pull. This is a figure 4 or reclining pigeon pose. And while you are here, this is where you start to just say, ah. Whether you say it out loud or whether your body says it, Just let it happen. Just breathing here, feeling the opening in that hip. In yoga, we like to say the hips are the junk drawer of our emotions. It's where we hold all of the emotional stuff in. So we like to open up here. Physically, we sit a lot too. So this helps to open us up. Let's do one more stretch on the other side. Bring that foot down. Take your left across your right. Stay here or pull in. Remember to be patient with each side of your body. Not each side is going to do the same thing. It's okay. You're still giving each side some love. So really pull it in. And we're not just opening up hips, we're releasing emotions, getting rid of the junk. Keeping those shoulders relaxed. You should feel like you are melting into the mat. And bring the sole of your right foot back down. Sole of the left foot comes back down to the mat. Taking 1 minute here. Relax your arms by your sides. For some of you, this just feels glorious on your lower back. Please stay right here. For others, if you'd like, you can stretch the legs down. If you stretch them down, don't get active. Don't lengthen them out. Just relax them out. Remember, you're melting into the mat. You're letting your practice relax the body. It's the physical practice, the asana mixed with the breath, the prana, that sets our minds up for relaxation, meditation, focus, release. Together we take one more breath together, breathing, inhale, and then exhale. Inhale as deep as you can, filling up the lungs. Open the mouth, sigh it out. Gently make your way to a seated position, whatever that position looks like is fine. Bringing the hands together, bring them to your heart. Be well, be powerful. Namaste.